It happened December 10th in 2007. I was 9 months pregnant, and I received this letter from somebody who I didn't know at the time, and that ended up being Jennifer, who told me that she shared the same DNA. She proceeded to have a document that showed my parents' handwriting on it, which was the adoption, papers, and there was a lovely handwritten or typed letter, and then there was there were photographs. And the photographs looked exactly like my youngest sister, Christina. They looked like twins. So by all of the evidence that she had placed in that letter, I knew she was for real. And I wanted to make it right. There was no question in my mind. Of course, I had to get confirmation from my parents, but there was no question.
And so you came to Los Angeles and met her? I mean, what did you do? What happened?
No, I actually found out when I was 16. And I immediately, obviously, wanted to meet my sisters and wanted to know, I exist, I'm here, and I want to meet you. And so I had 4 years, 16 to 20, of, just trying to reach out to them and trying to let them know that I existed. And at the end of 2007, I packaged up my heart and soul, sent it out on a hope and a prayer. And what I did, I knew I had one shot to show her that I was for real, not some crazy person. So I made copies of all of the official documentation, the legal documents, really well-written letter, and pictures because the resemblance was just uncanny.
Stunning. Now, what do you do now for a living?
I'm actually an acrobat and an aerialist. I've been doing that for the past 4.5 years.
But isn't that peculiar, the same family sort of? Did they give you to a family that they knew, other Romanians that had similar aspirations for their kids or something? You know what I mean? How'd this happen?
Couldn't be any more opposite. They are homegrown country American parents who've never even seen a Cirque du Soleil show.
and you had a natural proclivity for all that? You just wanted to do that?
The unbelievable thing is that ever since I was old enough, my one and only idol that I was fixated on happened to be my now turned to be biological sister.
Really?
Yes.
She was your idol and you didn't know it was
my
her?
Only idol. I knew I was drawn to her. She was small.
Isn't
I was
that
small.
crazy? Doesn't that give you chills to hear that?
It's amazing.
Now,
it's unbelievable.
let's turn our attention to your parents. I mean, they look circumspect at best. They have one daughter who's a perfect specimen that they turn into an Olympic champion. They have another daughter who's born with some deficits, and they give her away. What are we to think of that?
Well, I think everyone's going to think different things. I think unless you're in that situation, it's very hard to judge.
Did you say what happened to your parents? Did you get angry with them?
Of course I did. Rage was one of my first emotions. Like, how could you do this to me?
With your biological parents? Did you ever meet them?
It's hard to be angry when I was raised in such a great home.
So you feel like you're fine, you're cool, but your sister's angry. And so what did they say?
That was one of my first emotions. I was like, why didn't you just tell me? Why couldn't you trust me enough to tell me?
Imagine what people are thinking at home.
Oh, I know.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I completely understand.
Yeah.
But I also believe in forgiveness. And
what was their explanation?
My parents pretty much told me at the time there was a Romanian doctor that was there. They explained in Romanian she was going to need medical attention, and my parents couldn't afford to take care of her. They were delivering Jen at charity hospitals while had no insurance, and the doctor said, you have two choices. And my dad said, well, I just don't think we're going to be able to do this and take care of her.
So it was the medical issues.
That's what they told me.
What is the condition you have?
Oh, it was just a birth defect. It's just happens sometimes.
But why medically? Why were they concerned about medical needs? Were they physical therapy or something, or is that a nonsense excuse?
Maybe they just thought I did because I didn't have any extra medical bills, but it was maybe a thought that
they didn't understand.
Right.
They were afraid of the unknown, I think, also. And at the time, the Romanian doctor, this is what they
was supporting that. They were supporting that idea.
There was support, exactly, and so. My parents at the time believed what a doctor said was gospel.
Now, what do they think now that you guys are back together?
Of course, I'm happy, and my father's passed away, so he wanted to meet Jennifer when we found out. I think it was difficult for them because I had to confront them, and that was painful. But in the end, I think they're happy with our reunion. My father never got to meet Jennifer, and my mom's still dealing with a lot of the emotional trauma she had from 20-plus years ago, having to give Jen away, and dealing with all those emotions now is very hard for her. She came from an abusive
Your mom
marriage.
Did? An abusive marriage, okay. It's interesting that Jen got maybe the best end of the bargain, right? I mean, in spite of the one having been abandoned, she looks pretty good.
She's great. She has a great perspective and outlook on life, and I think, I'm so proud to call her my sister. I'm so happy for her. I'm glad that she did, because it would have broken my heart had I known that she suffered in her life. So I didn't want that for her.
She clearly did not.
And she did not.
And Dominique, thank you for telling us this story and writing the book. And Jen, thank you for joining us as well. Don't break my hand. This grip. I wish I could convey this grip across the camera. It's like, it's intense. You're an aerial artist, right? So it means you, okay, I feel in that grip what you do. There you go.